extraordinary rendition of Janos Farkas. Chapter 5. The flat echoed loneliness. The door opened into the main room, its walls the pallor of hospital green. Next door was the galley-style kitchen with its painted plywood cupboards, formica countertop, chipped sink, and peeling linoleum. There was no stove, only a double-element cooker that plugged into the wall. The bathroom was at the far end of the corridor. Between it and the kitchen were two more rooms. She knew the first room was the bedroom. They had made love there, but she had never been in the second room. On one of her trips to the bathroom, she had tried the handle, and it was locked. In the main room, there were only small traces of Janos, a well-worn and thumbed set to the complete tragedies of William Shakespeare, and a less well-thumbed set to the histories. There was nothing in the drawer of the small end table drawer with the bronze Hindu statue sitting on it. The one picture on the wall was the kind of anonymous landscape usually found in one-night hotels. She looked to see if it would reveal secrets. The discrepancy in the paint tones with the surrounding wall meant that more than one tenant had abandoned it there. There was a Boston fern on a side table, the kind of apartment plant that reminded people of old aunts and spinsters. The soil was damp. Who would care? There was a framed Paris match cover showing a fashion shot of a beautiful model, a woman about her own age. A pang of jealousy surged through her, and that was not supposed to happen. She walked into the kitchen and looked at the sink. It was spotless, a dishcloth neatly folded over its edge. She remembered the two coffee cups and the plate and the cutlery that had been there the last time they were there. She had been going to wash them, but hadn't thinking that she would return that night. But after that, it had been all hotels. Had Janos returned there without her? In the small fridge was a half-empty milk bottle. She raised it to her face. Her nose didn't wrinkle. The milk was fresh. Someone was living there. Who? The bedroom was almost equally clueless. Unmade, the bed reminded her of their 3 nights of passion. She put her nose to the bedclothes and then felt slightly embarrassed at her thoughts. Again, that was not supposed to happen. In the drawer of the night table, she found a Guardian newspaper. It was over a year old. The cover picture was of a Saudi prince leaving 10 Downing Street. The headline was, "Saudi Prince Meets with PM, Terrorist Fears Allayed." She knew the face. It was Prince Howard, the same Arab she had said she had seen at the Blue Elephant, the Arab whose money helped Janos produce his plays, the Arab who had sent them their one and only wedding present, the diamond pendant she wore around her neck. The article was about corruption, bribery, terrorism, and arms dealing. A few years earlier, Prince Howard, acting on behalf of the Saudi government, had made an enormous arms purchase, favoring a British company over American, French, German, and Swiss companies. It was strongly rumored that part of his decision was based on a personal £1 billion bribe from the British company. Shareholders who thought their dividends had been adversely affected raised questions. That would have been bad enough, but the real kicker was that almost half the money was rumored to have been diverted to Islamic terrorist organizations, along with many of the arms. A British High Court was looking into the matter until the case was personally appealed to the PM. Prince Howard didn't actually appeal. He threatened to cut off all Saudi intelligence information on suicide bombers and terrorists, making it easier for attacks to be carried out in London. The fact that Howard himself might be germane in such attacks was not lost on the press, nor was it lost on the PM, who quashed the court's inquiry, believing that this act of friendship might save London from getting a black eye in the future. She put the paper back where she found it. The chest of drawers yielded nothing more than a few neatly folded pairs of socks and underwear. A lone leather belt was in the second drawer on the right side. In the wardrobe there were 2 pairs of neatly ironed jeans, half a dozen white shirts, and another black sports coat similar to the one Janos had been wearing the night before. She had never seen him in anything else. She felt above the wardrobe for a hiding place where papers or personal items might be. Nothing. Down the hall, she tried the door of the other room. It was locked. She fiddled with it, looking in her purse for something to open it with. Behind her, she heard a key in the main door. Janos? What if it wasn't? Then who? The concierge? Someone from last night? She panicked and ran back into the bedroom. Squeezing into the narrow wardrobe, she pulled the door to within a fraction of being closed. Through the slit, she saw a burly, dark man pass the door. He looked like no man's friend. She heard the door of the second room opening and closing. Her first thought was to run, to get out before he left the room, make tracks. But how long did she have? Would she make it to the door before he came out? Was there enough time? She edged the wardrobe door open. That's the end of chapter 5. Tomorrow, chapter 6.